Hi, good evening. I'm Dr. Barbara Polk, and tonight's episode we're going to be talking about these particular times. What do children in early grades need from us? What do they really need from us? So we're going to be talking about three things that I'm going to discuss with you that these children in early grades really need from us. The first thing that they need is that they need for us to help them identify helpers. And I'm going to give you some more information about that. Help them identify helpers. You know, these are critical times that we're going through. There are lots of things that the children are hearing and seeing. So as educators and as parents, what can we do to help them look for helpers? And the second thing is to teach them how to be helpers. So we want and expect them to do something, but we're going to have to show them how to be what they're looking for. And the third thing is to listen to them. That's right, listen to them. Now, you know, we at school with our children, at home with our children, we're constantly telling them, do this, do that, stand up, sit down, move to the left, move to the right, do this, do that. But we need to take time to listen to the children. So, as I said, I am Dr. Barbara Polk. I am known as turnaround principal. I was assigned by the Texas Education Agency to go into low performing schools and to help those schools gain the kind of success that we did at the schools that I turned around. So the ultimate value is to have your school to be a school of success, whether you are the principal, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a parent, whether you're a stakeholder, you want your school to be a success. So what I want to tell you right now is that I am using a different platform. It's called StreamYard. And I should be streaming on my Facebook Live. I should be streaming in my Principals on the Come Up, the private group. And I should be streaming in YouTube at this time. So let me just check and see if we got streaming going on here. So I don't see it on one Facebook, so it may be on another Facebook. But anyway, what we're going to do, let's talk about the things that we can do to help our children in the early grades. Now, first of all, with everything that our children have been seeing, let's think about it. First of all, they have been a part of coronavirus, and they have heard us talking about it as parents. They've heard us talking about it as educators. They hear it everywhere they go, talking about coronavirus. They have seen peaceful protesters holding their signs up. Hey, Shannon. I'm sorry, Sharon. And anybody else, if you're here, let me know you're here. Please sign on and tell us just where you're from so we can know that you are here and you're ready to hear some information that's going to transfer to our young children and to our parents and to anyone else that's interested in education. So as we're saying, our children have been exposed to so much. They've been exposed to coronavirus. They have heard the news media talking about how many people have died. Hey, Linda, good to see you. They have heard about all of the people who are dying from the virus. They have heard about how many people are contracting the virus. They have witnessed the George Floyd video. They are witnessing the violence with police officers who are shooting Black men. They've seen all of this. They have seen all of the information about the politics that's involved right now. So these children are seeing and hearing things the way we have never heard before. And we as educators, we as parents have to be able to look out for them. And I'm going to tell you 3 things that we can do to look out for them. And it's not anything earth shaking. It's not anything that's going to take a lot of time with our children, because as educators, we have the responsibility, first of all, to teach the curriculum. We have the responsibility to talk to not just one student, but some of us may have 10 students, 20 students. And we are just going to have to find a time where we can include this information. So the first thing that we can do to help, especially our younger children, our children who are in pre-K, our children who are in kindergarten, our first grade, second grade, they're little sponges. They hear everything. They repeat what they hear. They say things and they don't know what they're saying. Yeah, you know, they repeat all of that, those curse words that they hear you repeat, and then they go and they repeat it at school, and you get called at school, and you'll say, oh, well, I don't know where they got that from. You do know. They got it from you. That's just how it is. So the first thing we need to do is to teach them to look for helpers. So we know that as far as what they see on television, as far as the police officers, yes, there are some police officers that are actually not good for our community. But we're going to have to teach them that there are helpers in the community. And those police officers that are the ones that help us, they're our helpers. The children are confused. You know, they hear, police officer is bad, but then they want to hear that the police officer is your friend. So you have the little ones that say, well, what is it? What is it? Are they good? Are they bad? Just what is it? So we're going to have to teach them to look for helpers. We're going to have to teach them that during, for example, 911, you have firefighters who went in to save people. It doesn't have to be 911. It could be in their apartment when they had a fire, or at their home when they had a fire, or when someone got sick in their home and the firemen came there and the police officers, they came to help. So we're going to have to teach them how to think, basically, and not just to see things from one side. I think that's what we're going through now within our country. You're either on this side or that side, but we have to understand and teach our youngsters that there is good and bad on both sides, and they're helpers on the side of people who want to do the right thing. The second thing is teach them to be the helpers. So now we're in coronavirus, okay? They want to know, how did all this come about? What happened that everybody got sick? And it's our opportunity as parents and as educators to explain to them how this came about. And the big thing is that this coronavirus is something that's not affecting just us right here in our community, but it's affecting the entire United States and the world. And the helping part is that everybody in all of the foreign countries, everybody is trying to help each other to come up with a vaccine to help us get better with the coronavirus. So we're teaching them to help at the home. We tell them to, wash their hands. We are encouraging them to help their parents clean up, help their parents wipe up, encourage them to be helpers, encourage them to take a part within the community. All the people that we have that are helpers in the community, the Red Cross, all of the people who help with cancer, with breast cancer, who volunteer their time. We have to be taught. You have to teach the little ones to be helpers. And I know that for those of you who are high school parents or high school educators, this still works. It still works for you as well. But with our little ones, we have to be more precise about what we're saying and what we're doing for them. And then those little ones, help them to share responsibilities. Now, it takes a little extra time. It takes extra effort. But guess what? They're quick learners. They want to help. Now, the problem is they want to help when they're young, and when they get to be older, oh, they don't want to help anymore. You know, it's like when you're cutting the grass, oh, when they're young, oh, can I cut the grass? Can I cut the grass? And when they get to be 14 and 15 and 16 and say, okay, go out and cut the grass. Oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. So the advantage is to get them and give them the responsibility to be helpers. The third thing is listen to them. That's right. Listen to them. They are concerned about what's going on. And remember, their minds are not fully developed. They don't understand and filter things the way we do as adults. We may hear and see something one way, and they see it and hear it through the filter of a young brain. Remember, the brain is not fully developed until you're 26 years old. That's right. I got a lot of old folks walking around with some undeveloped brains, but your brain is not fully developed until you're 26. So here you have a pre-K, a kindergartner, first, second, third grader, and they're hearing information about the coronavirus. They're hearing information about protests. They're hearing information about police officers. They're hearing information about the George Floyd murder, what it was. They're hearing everything about politics. They are filtering things, and lots of times they don't even say anything. They're just quiet. They're just listening from left to right, hearing what people are saying. So we have to give them an opportunity to say what they have to say. Even though they are young, even though their minds are not fully developed, those little ones have wisdom. And they say some amazing things, some things that we could learn from them because they don't have all that other stuff going around in their brains. So listen to them for their wisdom. Let them process the information. Listen to them because they have lots of things that they want to say, and we are there to support them. We're there to support them. So what I want you to do at this time, I want you to go to barbararaypolk.com. And if you want to have, any discussions about this, or you can go to my Facebook Messenger, and you would like to have a discovery call for about 30 minutes, I'm available. So just go to that messenger and message me. The thing that I want to talk to you about also is that on Thursday night at Thursday evening at 6 p.m., we are going to be talking about discipline in the classroom. That's right, discipline in the classroom. We are going to have the founders of the National Educators for Restorative Practices. That's right, restorative practices. We're going to have Denise Holliday and Kevin Curtis with us. And they are going to be talking about restorative practices. Now, for those of you who don't know what restorative practices is, it's a concept where we have looked at the data of students of color, the way they have been suspended from school, the way they have been sent to the alternative campuses, the way they have not been given the complete opportunity to learn in an environment that is conducive to their way of learning. We, with Denise and Kevin, They're going to talk about what we can do in order to keep our children of color in school, encouraged in school, establish relationships so that those children who are going through challenges are those teachers who just don't know how to work with children who are going through challenges, what you can do about it. We want to eliminate, what they call that school to prison pipeline. And restorative practices has been used throughout the United States and other countries, and is shown to eliminate or almost bring down to nothing the kinds of discipline issues that teachers have in the classroom. Teachers have issues in the classroom because they don't know what to do. They don't know what resources to have. And if you are a teacher in a school of color, if you are in a school that is called low performing, your school is not successful. If you are in a school that has low income children, it's a high probability that you will not be able to attract or to get teachers to come to your school that are fully qualified, that are fully certified, and can understand the community that they're serving. So with restorative practices, you get an opportunity to understand the community that you're serving, to understand the relationships that have to be built in order to have a classroom where children feel safe, where children feel loved. And you need all of those in order for that child's mind to be open to education. So on Thursday, we will have them. They will be on at 6, from 6 to 7. We'll be sending out invitations for you to listen to what they have to say. We're going to have a discussion, and it's going to be a good discussion because Linda Spears is somebody that I want to call out when it was time to address those kinds of students who were having difficulty. Before we knew about restorative practices, Linda and Eric Sharon, they were the two people who were able to formulate a program at the middle school where I was principal to gather those students together, call those parents and let them know you don't have to worry about your child being suspended anymore. We're going to take care of them. We're going to help build relationships. We are going to have that child to talk so that we can hear what's going on. And that was something that saved so many children over the years that we did it. We want to find ways to keep our children in school. We want them to be able to graduate from high school. So when they graduate, they don't have to graduate and go to college. They can graduate from high school with a certificate. They can graduate and go to a community college. They can graduate and open their own business. All we want to do is to make sure that our children have the opportunity to stay in school, get an education, get everything they need. And the greatest thing about them getting an education is that they completed something. They finished something. What an accomplishment when you say, I graduated, I finished something. Because many of the students who don't graduate, they carry that burden with them the rest of their lives, and they have that deficit in them. It's just a matter of completing what you started. So look forward to seeing you come in on Thursday, November 12th from 6 to 7 p.m., where we will be talking about restorative practices. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page, which is called Principals on the Come Up. And we'll be back on next Monday at 5 p.m., where we will be talking to our teachers, our parents, our principals on the come up. Have a good evening.